Audio 10.1 1.
So in Lisbon today, it's cloudy this morning but dry, and we don't expect any rain. By the afternoon, it's going to be warm and sunny, but not really hot, with temperatures of around 20 degrees Celsius.
2.
It was great. We loved Malaysia. We went in the wet season, so we had some storms. The first night we arrived, it was really windy, and there was a big storm with very loud thunder and lightning. But most of the time during the day, it was lovely.
3.
Let's now go to Rupinder in Chicago. Hello, Rupinder. How's the weather there?
Well, Mike, it's freezing here today. There was a lot of snow last night, and the roads are very icy. It's cold and foggy now, and there is more snow to come later today.
Audio 10.2
Snow. To snow. Snowy.
Rain. To rain. Rainy.
Sun. To shine. Sunny.
Wind. To blow. Windy.
Ice. To freeze. Icy. Freezing.
Fog. Foggy.
Audio 10.3
When we make a comparative sentence, we say than with a weak sound, than. The nights are colder than the days. Is spring wetter than summer?
Audio 10.4 1.
Is Dublin drier than Paris?
2.
Is Sydney bigger than Cairo?
Audio 10.5 1.
Which city is drier, Dublin or Paris?
It's close. Both cities have a lot of rain, but Dublin's wetter.
2.
Which is bigger, the population of Sydney or Cairo?
Well, Cairo's population is bigger than Sydney's. Cairo has a population of over 9 million, but Sydney's is smaller, at just over 4.5 million.
Audio 10.6 1.
Are Indian elephants heavier than African elephants?
No, they aren't. African elephants are heavier than Indian elephants.
2.
Is Tokyo more expensive than Singapore?
Yes, it is. Both places are quite expensive, but Tokyo is more expensive than Singapore.
3.
Are giraffes faster than humans?
Yes, they are. Giraffes can run at 35 miles an hour, which is faster than any human being.
4.
Is Canada bigger or smaller than the USA?
Canada is slightly bigger than the USA.
5.
Is the North Pole colder than the South Pole?
No, it's warmer. The South Pole is colder than the North Pole.
Audio 10.7 A.
Mount Kilimanjaro is in Tanzania in East Africa. Its name means Mountain of Light, and it's a very beautiful place. It's the highest mountain in Africa, but it's not difficult to climb.
B.
Victoria Falls are beautiful. It's a very big waterfall on the Zambezi River between Zimbabwe and Zambia.
C.
Lake Baikal is in the south of Siberia in Russia. It's the biggest and deepest lake in the world, but it often freezes in winter because Siberia has a very cold climate.
D.
The Amazon jungle is the biggest area of rainforest in the world. It is mostly in Brazil, but some parts of it are in other South American countries such as Ecuador, Peru, and Bolivia. About half the world's plants and animals live in rainforests.
E.
The Andaman Sea has some very beautiful tropical islands with white sandy beaches near the west coast of Thailand. The biggest and most famous is Phuket.
F.
The Gobi Desert is a very large desert in northwest China and Mongolia. It's a cold desert because it's so far north and it sometimes snows there.
Audio 10.8. 1.
Lake Baikal is in the south of Siberia.
2.
The Gobi Desert is in northwest China and Mongolia.
3.
Phuket Island is near the west coast of Thailand.
Audio 10.9.
Lake Baikal in Siberia is the biggest, deepest, and oldest lake in the world. It's more than 1,600 meters deep and more than 25 million years old. It has almost 20% of the world's fresh water, and thousands of different kinds of plants and animals live there.
Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania is one of the largest volcanoes in the world. It's 5,895 meters tall, the highest mountain in Africa. It's sometimes called the roof of Africa. It's also one of the easiest mountains in the world to climb, even for tourists. The oldest person ever to climb to the top was a Frenchman, Walter Daniel, who was 87 years old.
An oasis is an area of water in a desert, and Al-Hassa is the largest oasis in Saudi Arabia. It covers over 12 square kilometers and gives water to over 3 million trees and 1 million people, even at the hottest times of year. Many Saudis believe Al-Hassa is the most beautiful and best area to visit in the country.
Audio 10.10.
We say the in superlatives with a weak sound, the, when the following adjective starts with a consonant. We say the ending est with a schwa sound, ust.
Audio 10.11.
Which river's the longest in the world?
I think the Nile's the longest.
Maybe, but I think the Amazon is longer than the Mississippi. Audio 10.12. 1.
The busiest airport of the three is Beijing, then Dubai, and then Los Angeles.
2.
Of these islands, Greenland is the biggest and Madagascar is bigger than Sumatra.
3.
The Great Pyramid of Giza isn't the oldest monument in the world, but it's the oldest in this group. It's older than the Parthenon, and the Parthenon's older than the Colosseum.
Audio 10.13. 1.
Is there usually heavy traffic on your way to this class?
2.
Did you have a high score in your last test?
3.
Do you like strong coffee?
4.
Which jobs usually have the lowest salaries?
5.
Are you a deep sleeper?
Audio 10.14.
Okay, so we can take a tent and sleeping bag each, and we need to decide on the 5 most important things to take as well.
Well, we need cooking equipment. We have to eat. But I think we should take 1 stove instead of 3 because we don't need 1 each.
I think a lighter is more important than a stove, because we can make a fire for cooking with wood from the forest.
I'm sorry, but I don't agree. Taking a stove is a better idea than making a fire because what happens if it rains? If we have the lighter and the stove, then we can cook inside the tent.
Okay, so a stove, lighter, and cooking equipment makes 3 things. We can have 2 more.
Well, we need to find our way to the camp. I think a map and compass are the most useful things for this, because a GPS could break or run out of battery.
But that's 2 more things, and we can't have any more than that. What happens if we need the first aid kit? I'd prefer to take the GPS instead of the map and compass, because then we can have the first aid kit.
But what about the torch? I don't like the forest at night time.
It gets dark quite late, and we should go to bed early after a long day walking in the forest, so I don't think we need the torch.
Okay, let's take the GPS and the first aid kit.
Okay.
Good idea.
Audio 10.15. 1.
I think a compass is better than a GPS.
2.
I'd prefer to stay in a hotel.
3.
The most important thing to take is food.
4.
I think we should take only 1 torch.
5.
Taking a first aid kit is more important than taking a knife.
6.
I'd prefer to have my own tent.
Audio 10.16. 1.
Bangkok is hotter than Cairo.
2.
Canberra is foggier than London.
3.
The pollution is worse in New Delhi than in Beijing.
4.
Damascus is older than Rome.
5.
Ottawa is snowier than Moscow.
6.
Tokyo has a bigger population than Mexico City.